Welcome back for the final event of the weekend, the sprint race. Here, the top 8 from yesterday's feature race are reversed to make up the grid below us. And in just a few minutes, those drivers will be hurtling down into turn 1. Joining me for the race today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. Davide, it's great to have you with us for today's race. Any tips for our drivers out on the track today?
It's a real pleasure to be here, Alex. We are in for a spectacular day in Formula 2. My advice is to stay calm, look after the car, look after the tires, but don't be afraid to push when you see an opportunity. Using the DRS on some of those long straights will be crucial for the driver looking to make a challenge.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to episode 8 of the F2 2019 Mick Schumacher career mode, where today we're here for the Monaco Grand Prix sprint race. Now, it's safe to say the last 3 races probably haven't quite gone our way in the Mick Schumacher career mode, and honestly I don't have too high hopes for this one as well, but we'll wait and see at the end of the day. If you did miss out on yesterday's video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. It was a bit of a weird one. I think we're all, obviously for those of you that did watch it, are well aware at this point. But coming into the second race of the Monaco GP weekend though, we need to try and at least score some points. Try to take a little less damage than we possibly could before we head to the French Grand Prix next time out, where hopefully we can see a little bit of a season rebuild. But obviously, yeah, like I said, if you guys are new around here, do get yourselves subscribed. But let's jump in then. It's time for the Monaco GP feature, sprint race even, I should say. We need a good start. It's 5 lights here in Monaco, and it is lights out and away we go. They're getting a fairly sort of standard start. Mazepin's going to have a look up the inside down in towards T1. But ultimately, it's just about trying to keep the nose clean and getting a very poor start in the end. Someone, Cal Ilott behind us, is starting to set the super softs. That's a brave strap to go with around Monaco. Not too sure why you voluntarily opt for an extra pit stop, but I mean, we've had a cleaner start than last time. We actually ended up with a pile-up in the first race of the weekend. Having a look back at the inside of Calderon. Should be a fairly textbook move, and now everyone just concertina's up. I would like some room, Alesi. Just squeeze me into the wall and on the exit. Thanks for that. And of course, for some reason, that's my fault here on F1 at 2019. So we have survived the first half a lap, which is always reassuring. Alesi and Mazepin just in front of us still at the moment. So we do, progress needs to be made here. It's not quite the Spanish Grand Prix circuit last time out. Spain's not renowned for being an easy track to overtake at, but in comparison to Monaco, it's certainly heaven in comparison. Through the final sector of the lap, this is where we're a lot stronger than the AI on the most part, making big gains on Giuliano Alesi. And yeah, Raskas, I feel, is certainly giving me an opportunity that is commonly used here in the Monaco Grand Prix sprint race. Coming out of the final corner though, we have survived the first lap. We've dropped 1 place unfortunately, but it is a purple final sector. Let's try to make some progress back on Giuliano Alesi. Getting a good drive out the first couple of corners. Clearly the traction is still alright. And down in towards the final few corners of the lap. I said about Raskas, we're going to try it. Aggressive, but we made it work. Jack Aitken leads the way at the end of lap 2. Sure, he'd love to take home a Monaco GP sprint race victory, but I know he's got a lot of quick cars behind him. But the team were quite happy with that. Again, I still don't know if Jeff's actually going to come through. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So he did say it was a good move, so clearly the FIA had no issues with it. Oh, getting a huge tank slapper out of the upper Mirabeau, but we have muscled our way past Mazepin. Up into P15 now of the race. I wasn't even, honestly, I was sort of half expecting to make the move, but after I got a little bit of wheel spin, I wondered if I should bail out, but he broke a little bit earlier than I was expecting as well. Sometimes the AI do, if you show your nose. It's not quite the good old days. Oh, look how slow Carrera is through there. We need to get past him. Skim the arm coat. Oh, I thought he was going to give us the room. But, again, aggressive. You've got to be. You can't make a... Well, I mean, I can, personally. It's near impossible to make a completely clean and fair overtake without costing you both a little bit of time here. Sometimes the lunges have got to come out. But it's up to P14. Next up is Bolshun. Bolshun locks up towards the bottom of the hill. Well, I say towards the bottom of the hill, we're only about halfway down. And we are just stuck behind him at the moment. No opportunity has opened up over the last couple of laps. He basically latched onto the back of him as soon as we got past Capure, and then since then it has just been looking at the rear end of that car, which is incredibly frustrating. But, I mean, welcome to Monaco, I guess. Down in towards the chicane, get as close to him as possible, and then the AI just got enough in the traction zones. This is where they lose out so much time, though, through these few corners. Look at this, just how much off throttle we have to be. Can we get good traction through here? Ride those curbs, surely that's an opportunity. No, Bolshun completely blocks us, and we're going to do that to him. Got to be a bit aggressive at the moment. Thank you, at last! I passed Rob Bolshun in this race, and I think Capure is going to be able to follow me through as well, which is a bit frustrating. Did all the hard work. Lock up into T1, that's fine. We fastest lap by 4/10, and we're taking like 1.3 out of Boccolacci in front of us. The pace we've got over the AI when we're not stuck behind him is beyond a joke. Out of the final corner, what is it going to be? It's a 21.6. We can't get stuck behind him for too long. On the outside, perhaps? No. No chance. Good traction at the final corner, perhaps? So much earlier on the power, but just a tiny bit of wheel spin. And despite the DRS, Boccolacci is going to go defensive. Oh, he's going to lock up into T1. We attack the curbs a bit too much. I don't think we can really take that move with a safe conscience. Here he won't. No, that's for sure. Come on. Oh, he locks up. That's a helpful opportunity. Oh, no! Just run into the back of him. Come on, final corner. No, clip the curbs on the exit, and look at that. Boccolacci, despite the DRS, still able to pull away. We're 2 seconds off my PV now. That's just how much time being stuck behind him is costing us. Try and go a bit slower in, and then try to get a run out. But that just hasn't worked. Nice opposite lock, all the way from the chicane down into Larascas. One more lap to go, though. I mean, at this point, it's just going to be about pride over Boccolacci. It has really not been... I mean, we made places up at the Monaco Grand Prix. We were down in 18th off the start, if I'm not mistaken. And we're up into P13. I'd like it to be P12 at the end of the day. I mean, an overtake on average, what's that, every 5 laps? Sorry, every 3 laps even, I should say. Isn't bad going around Monaco. Oh, Boccolacci! Oh, how? How can they do that? Just lock up and then be fine. I have noticed the AI have much more forgiving about the locking up. They can lock up and still make corners. If you lock up, you're going straight on, like you know, like real life. Oh, I locked the rears. Got lucky there. That was almost Charles Leclerc to the back of Brendan Hartley, yes, or more Raikkonen, to the back of Adrian Sutil. But still, final sector of the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh my god, I wasn't actually expecting to make the move there. We forced Boccolacci to cut it. We're now up into P12. Took a lot longer than I wanted to. Jeff's pretty happy with that one. Jack Aitken, though, wins his first race here on the F2 Mick Schumacher career mode. At the final corner, though, it's P12 at the end of the day there, with a last lap daring move. Again, not quite the race we wanted, but, I mean, we couldn't really have asked for much more.
Brilliant stuff from Campos today. What a superb victory. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
It's time to present the top drivers with their trophies for today's race, and there are a lot of people in the paddock very happy with this result. It's Campos on the top step. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Sergio Sette Camara, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
It's got to be Mick Schumacher. He attacked all race long. He was amazing.
And now a look at the team standings. Dams move further ahead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, Carlin move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. That's it for today's race. From Davide and I, it's goodbye, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
So there we are then, guys, the end of the F2 sprint race here from the Monaco Grand Prix. Jack Aitken takes his first race victory of the season there, and yeah, really not many position swaps at the end of the day inside the top 10. Only one, and that was Sette Camara and Latifi swapping. I'm going to guess probably off the start there. It seemed like pretty much, as you'd expect from Monaco, a bit of a procession in the top 10 there. Matsushita did move up as well, as obviously as myself. We were the biggest mover in that Grand Prix, or at least upwards anyway, from P16 to P12 there. Boccolacci drops down, obviously, after his teammate wins ahead of Correa. And then you can see Mazepin and Alesi did do the old switcheroo as well at the end of the day there. But in terms of the result, though, it is Aitken ahead of Delatraz, King, Giotto, Hubert, Sette Camara, Latifi, and De Vries. I guess I can take some solace in the fact that Camara, Latifi, and De Vries haven't pulled out too many points there. Ahead of Zhou, Galeal, Matsushita, myself, Boccolacci, and obviously I ran down the last few guys. In terms of the Drivers' World Championship, 47 back. Oh, have we got a mountain to climb here in the F2 career mode. Sette Camara still leads the way, though, 10 ahead of Nick De Vries, with Delatraz now swapping up into P3 ahead of Giotto there. We're just 1 point now ahead of Latifi, 2 points ahead of Jordan King there. And yeah, we need a bit of a comeback next weekend at the French Grand Prix. But anyway, though, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video once again. Honestly happy that we survived the sprint race here in Monaco. Overall this weekend, not a good result for us. 12th overall at the end of the day there. Yeah, really not a good race. Losing another 32 points to Nick De Vries and 22 to Sette Camara at the end there. But yeah, that'll do us then for this weekend. Hopefully you guys will come back next week out where we will be at the French Grand Prix. A bit more of a wide open track for us. So hopefully we can continue our championship charge. Although it's not been won recently.